Hello everyone, welcome back to the lecture series on microwave and radar engineering. In this lecture, I am going to discuss the bunching process of two-cavity klystron as well as the derivation for the velocity modulation of two-cavity klystron. So these are the learning outcomes of this lecture. After successful completion of this lecture, you will be able to understand the bunching process. So you will be able to understand the bunching process of two-cavity klystron amplifier. So that is bunching process in the sense how the electron bunches will form in the drift space, and derive the optimum bunching value. Derive the optimum bunching value expression for two-cavity klystron amplifier. So optimum bunching value means, so at what length the bunching electron bunch will form, we have to find. That is L max we have to find in this expression. So here it is the two-cavity klystron amplifier. So once again, just a small review of this operation of two-cavity klystron amplifier. Here we are applying the RF input signal, which is to be amplified through a coaxial cable into the buncher cavity, that is input cavity. So here electrons will generated by the electron gun, and these are passing through the buncher cavity, and here the velocity modulation of these electrons will take place, and these will travel into the drift space. So in the drift space there is no field will be present, so it is called as field free drift space, so that the electron bunches will be formed here in the drift space. So these bunches of electrons will be extracted in this catcher cavity, and the amplified version of this signal will be extracted through the RF output or coaxial loop, that is the amplified signal. So the amplified RF signal will be extracted from this catcher cavity. See here, we have to calculate the optimum length in the drift space where the electron bunches will form. That we have to find in this lecture, and as well as bunching process we have to study. So with respect to the, already we have learned that in the operation of that two-cavity klystron amplifier, that is there we are having reference electron, early electron and late electron, right? So with these electrons we have to study the process of bunching process. Now coming to the mathematical analysis of a klystron amplifier. So here let us consider the DC voltage between cathode and anode will be V0. So there we are applying the voltage between the cathode and anode. We have seen that cathode and anode. Cathode is here and anode is here. The applied DC voltage between here it is, we are assuming it as V0. Okay. So small V0 be the velocity of the electron. Small V0 be the velocity of the electron. So let L be the drift space length. So already we have the drift space, here it is. We are assuming it as L. L be the drift space length, and Vs be the RF input signal to be amplified by the klystron. So which is applying through the input cavity, that is buncher cavity, the RF signal. Vs be the RF input signal to be amplified by the klystron. Okay. So then already we know that this expression V0 is equals to square root of 2E V0 by M. From the transit time effect, transit time derivation, we already know this one. V0 is equal to square root of 2E V0 by M. So from this, how it will become? That is, so actually this 0.53 into 10 power 6 is the value of square root of 2E by M. Here E is nothing but charge of electron, that we have to apply the value as 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs, and M is nothing but mass of electron, that value is 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kgs. That we have to apply. In this expression, you will get the value as 0.59 to something into 10 power 6 root V naught. Okay. So let us assume that Vs be the RF input signal. So which is to be amplified, that Vs will be the V1 into sin omega t. V1 into sin omega t. So as V1 be the amplitude of the signal, that is V1 will be the amplitude of the signal, whereas V0 is the voltage, DC voltage between anode and cathode. DC voltage between the anode and cathode. So if we compare these two voltages, V1 is far less than V0, which is to be assumed. Okay, so please assume this value, V1 is far less than V0. So now bunching process in two cavity klystron. So here it is a simple diagram of two cavity klystron. Here buncher cavity and catcher cavity. There L is the drift space. The distance between the two cavities. L is the drift space. And the initial time we have assumed it to be as T0 and T1 be this time. And that small d is the distance between the two grids. As well as here it is at this point the distance is L plus D. The distance is L plus D, and here it is L plus 2D because already it is D. Okay, the time here we are assuming it as T2 and here it is T3. Okay, so the initial velocity of that electron will be V0. So now the energy of the electron at the time of leaving buncher cavity. The energy of the electron at the time of leaving buncher cavity. That is the energy of the electron at this point at the time of leaving the buncher cavity is given by half mv1 square is equals to because up to this point V0, here it is the voltage the velocity of the electron will becomes V1. So half mv1 square is equals to EV0 into EV1 sin omega t1. Okay, here E is common, that's why E into V0 plus V1 sin omega t1. So from this V1 square is equals to, so 2 into EV0 plus V1 sin omega t1 by M. Okay, so from this V1 is equals to, square root of 2E into V0 plus V1 sin omega t1 by M. So here I am taking the term as common, this one, square root of 2E V0 by M. After taking this one as common, here the remainder is 1 plus V1 by V0 sin omega t1. Right. So here already we know that V0 is equal to square root of 2E V0 by M. That we have to substitute here. So V1, velocity of the electron after leaving the buncher cavity, that is V1 is equals to V0 into 1 plus V1 by V0 sin omega t1 whole power 1 by 2. Right. Now, since already we assumed that V1 is far less than V0, so from this so here V1 by V0 is far less than 1. So from this we know that V1 is equals to V0 into 1 plus V1 by V0 sin omega t1 whole power 1 by 2. So here it is a small value. So we can apply the binomial series expansion. From this V1 becomes V0 into 1 plus V1 by 2 V0 sin omega t1. Okay. So this is the equation of velocity modulation. Here it is the equation of velocity modulation. V1 is equals to V0 into 1 plus V1 by 2 V0 sin omega t1. So this is the equation of velocity modulation. So here omega t1 is nothing but omega t0 plus theta g by 2. Here omega t1 is equals to omega t naught plus theta g by 2, where theta g is the phase angle of RF input signal voltage during which the electron is accelerated. Here just I am assuming the RF input signal. So Vs is equals to sin omega t, and here I am considering it as the time. Here it is t naught. After some time I am considering it as t1. So this is the distance which the electron travel. So here d is the distance traveled by the electron from this time t0 to t1. So from this the transit time tau is equals to distance by velocity. Here that time how much it is, t1 minus t0, that is d by v0. So here theta g, we know that theta g is the phase angle of the RF input signal voltage, that is theta g equals to omega t. So here t is equals to t1 minus t0 and it is d by v0, omega d by v0. So next, coming to the bunching process of electron beam. So here we have the equation of velocity modulation, that is, what is the equation of velocity modulation? So here we have the equation of velocity modulation, that is v1 is equals to v0 into 1 plus v1 by 2 v0 sin omega t1. So now v1 is equals to v0 into 1 plus v1 by 2 v0 sin omega t1. So what is the maximum value of this one? So when this value will be maximum, if the sine value will be maximum, whenever the sine value will be maximum, it will be maximum. So what is the sine value, maximum value of sine? So if it is equals to pi by 2, this we will get the maximum value of v1. So the maximum value occurs at plus pi by 2, so that v1 is equals to v0 into 1 plus v1 by 2 v0 sin pi by 2, that is omega t1 is equals to pi by 2. So from this it is 1. Now v1 max, v1 becomes v1 max, it is equals to v0 into 1 plus v1 by 2 v0, that will be considered as equation 1. Similarly, minimum value, when you will get the minimum value, if omega t1 is equals to minus pi by 2, then the minimum value at minus pi by 2, so that v1 becomes v1 minimum, that is v0 into 1 plus v1 by 2 v0 plus sine of minus pi by 2. So and this value is, and sine of minus pi by 2 value is minus 1, so that v0 into 1 minus v1 by 2 v0. Okay, that will be considered as equation 2. Next, if the distance in the drift space at which bunching occurs from the buncher grid, that is buncher gravity, at that time t1 is L1. That is already we have assumed that t0, t1, t2, t3 values. So here drift space, the distance in the drift space at which the bunching occurs from the buncher cavity, that is from time t1, is we are assuming it as L1. Okay, so L1 is nothing but v0 into t1 minus t0. This is the main equation. So L1 is equals to v0 into t1 minus t0. That will be considered as equation A, capital A. Okay, so if you can observe this diagram, from this diagram we are having 3 electrons. 3 electrons, we are assuming that here it is reference electron, okay, and late electron, early electron. So I already told that there are 3 electrons, we are assuming that. So early electron is moving with the velocity of v minimum, and reference electron with no change velocity, and late electron will move with the maximum velocity. then only these all the electrons will form the bunch at the bunching point. So this is the bunching point, and nearby the catcher grid, that whatever the distance traveled from this buncher grid to the catcher grid, that will be considered as L1. Okay, so L1. So here it is where we are getting this value T at plus pi by 2, and here it is T naught, and here it is T at minus pi by 2. T naught, T at plus pi by 2, T at minus pi by 2. This axis is time. Okay, so here it is the bunching distance, and why these two distances? These distances are equal to pi by 2 omega. Why these distances are equal to pi by 2 omega? That I will explain you. So why these distances are pi by 2 omega? See here, the distance L1 at minus pi by 2. So already L1 we have, that is L1 is equals to, that we have L1 is equals to V naught into T1 minus T naught. So now L1 at the minimum, L1 at distance, L1 at minus pi by 2, that means at T minus pi by 2, that is V minimum become, because V becomes V minimum at T equals to minus pi by 2. Already we have seen that expressions. So V naught becomes V minimum, and T1 minus T at minus pi by 2, that is L1. This will be considered as equation 3. And similarly, this distance L1 at plus pi by 2, that is at maximum, then at plus pi by 2, see at plus pi by 2, T at plus pi by 2, V becomes V max. At minus pi by 2, T becomes V minimum. Now at plus pi by 2, that V becomes V max, and L1 is equals to V max into T1 minus T naught, that is T at plus pi by 2. Now T at minus pi by 2 equals to T at minus pi by 2, that is T at minus pi by 2, and T at plus pi by 2 is equals to, here it is T at minus pi by 2, that is T naught minus pi by 2 omega. T at plus pi by 2 is T naught plus pi by 2 omega. So these, how it is pi by 2 omega? First we will see that here the total cycle, it is time period is capital T. Here we are assuming that half cycle, half time period, that is T by 2. Okay, so first we know that T is equals to 1 by F. T is equals to 1 by F. T by 2 is equals to 1 by 2F. So we know the relation between frequency and angular frequency of omega is equal, F is equals to omega by 2 pi. F is equals to omega by 2 pi. If you substitute here, simply 1 by so that is equals to pi by omega. Okay, T by 2 can be represented as pi by 2 omega plus pi by 2 omega. This T by 2 distance half cycle will be divided into pi by 2 omega plus pi by 2 omega, that is pi by 2 omega distance and pi by 2 omega distance. It is from centered at T naught. So this is T at minus pi by 2 equals T naught minus pi by 2, T at plus pi by 2 equals to T naught plus pi by 2, that is equation 5 and equation 6. So from this equation 1 to 6, that is from equation 1 to 6, equation 1 to, that is V max and V minimum, L1 at minus pi by 2, L1 at plus pi by 2, and as well as T at minus pi by 2 and T at plus pi by 2. So now we will substitute all these values in L, that is L at plus minus pi by 2, T at minus pi by 2, that is here. In this we have to substitute all these values. V minimum is already is there, that is V minimum equals to V naught into 1 minus V1 by 2 V naught into T1 minus T at minus pi by 2, that is T naught minus of minus plus pi by 2. Now L at T of plus pi by 2, T at plus pi by 2, that is equals to V naught into, that is V max. V max is equals to V naught into 1 plus V1 by 2 V naught into T1 minus T at plus pi by 2. T at plus pi by 2 value is this one. So minus of pi by 2. Now, so L at T at minus pi by 2, these are L at T at plus pi by 2 values. Now, for minimum value and maximum values, this is the minimum value and this is the maximum value. So I am rearranging this equation as L1 is equals to, so L1 is equals to V0 into T1 minus, so next plus V0 is common for this, so next pi by 2 omega minus V1 by 2 V0 into T1 minus T0 minus V1 by 2 V0 into pi by 2 omega. That already we have considered as equation 7. See, V0 into 1 into T1 minus T0 plus V0 into 1 into pi by 2 omega, V0 into minus of V0 into V0 is common, minus of V1 by 2 V0 into T1 minus T0, V1 by 2 V0 into pi by 2 omega. Okay, that is equation 7. That minimum value, and for maximum value same, we have to solve this one. So maximum value will get like this. Now here the electrons are traveling different, early electron, late electron and reference electron all are traveling with the different velocities only, but these all are traveling the same distance. At the distance these all forming the bunch. Okay, so here the distance is same for all the electrons, these have to travel the same distance, but the velocity of these electrons will be changes. Okay, so if the distance has to be the same for, that is with velocity which is moving with minimum velocity, the electron moving with the same velocity and the electron moving with the maximum velocity, all buncher L1 for these should be equals to V0 into T1 minus T1, that is V0 into T1 minus T0 should be equal to 7th equation or 8th equation we can equate, but V0 into T1 minus T0 is nothing but L1, that already we know. So L1 is equals to V0 into T1 minus T0, that we have to equate to the 7th equation, because distances are same. L1 is here, it is same, and here it is also same. In equation 8 also same L1, that all the electrons are traveling the same distance but with different velocities only because of velocity modulation. At the final point they are forming the electron bunches. Okay, now to equate these two, then these two will be equated. If this is equal to 0, okay, if these two are equal, this should be equal to 0. Now I am equating this one, V0 pi by 2 omega minus V1 by 2 V0 T1 minus T0 minus V1 by 2 V0 into pi by 2 omega equals to 0. So from this, pi by 2 omega minus V1 by 2 V0 into T1 minus T0 minus V1 by 2 V0 pi by 2 omega is equals to 0, right? So this will be there here. So from this I want to know what is the T1 minus T0. I want to know what is T1 minus T0. See here, if I am taking the first one, minus of T1 minus T0, then here it is, so the term only I am considering it as this one, and which is equal to V1 by 2 V0 pi by 2 omega minus pi by 2 omega into 2 V0 by V1. That there it is, pi by 2 omega is taken as common in this equation. So pi by 2 omega into V1 by 2 V naught minus 1 into 2 V naught by V1. So from this, I want to know what is T1 minus T naught. Simply changing the sign. So here it is pi by V naught by omega V1 minus pi by 2 omega. So that is T1 minus T naught is equals to pi by omega into V1 V naught by V1 minus pi by 2 omega. Since V1 is far less than V naught, initially I told that V1 is far less than V naught, that is V naught by V1 is far greater than 1. Okay, V naught by V1 is far greater than 1, so that it is very high value. Because V naught by V1 is far greater than 1, it is very high value. So very high value minus pi by 2 omega. So V naught by V1 is very high. So pi by 2 omega can be neglected. Okay, it can be neglected. Now T1 minus T naught is approximately equals to pi by omega V naught by V1. Pi by omega into V naught by V1. So here what is T1 minus T naught? That is the time difference between the electron when traveling a distance of d. Okay, see here. Now substituting this in the equation A. What is equation A? Equation A is nothing but L1 is equals to V naught into T1 minus T naught. This is equation A. Now substitute T0 minus T1 minus T0 in this equation A. Now L1 is like this, because T1 minus T0 is approximately equals to pi by omega V0 by V1. So L1 is equals to V0 into pi V0 by omega V1. Okay. So bunching occurs as the RF signal changes. Bunching occurs as the RF signal changes from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Already we have seen that minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Late electron to early electron we have considered as one bunching point. We have seen that. So we are assuming that bunching occurs over the duration of minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Right. So that is the duration of pi. That is the duration of pi, which is already we know that the value of 3.14 or 3.682. Actually it is the optimum bunching. The optimum bunching occurs at this point value. Actually this is optimum bunching occurs at this 3.682. So that we are considering this value, then L becomes L max. Optimum bunching occurs at that point. So now pi we are taking it as 3.682. So that pi 3.682 into V0 by omega V1. That is the expression optimum bunching value. Okay. So if the beam coupling coefficient of the input cavity is beta, and it is given by beta is equal to sin theta g by 2 by theta g by 2 beta. Okay. So where theta g, already we know that where theta g is equals to omega d by V0, we have seen that. So theta g equals to omega d by V0, that is the average gap transit angle. Theta g is the average gap transit angle. Then we have to substitute these values in this L max expression. So L max with the coupling coefficient of input cavity beta is given by L max is equals to 3.682 into V0 by omega beta into V1. Okay, this is the optimum bunching occurs at this point. So optimum bunching occurs at this length L. Okay. So these are the references followed for this lecture. Thank you.